So I was going through my email yesterday and came across an email with the subject, "Your channel sucks," with an exclamation mark, and it was from someone with a Fortnite profile picture, and they also had the word Fortnite in their email, so I already knew what I was about to read would probably make me want to pour bleach over my eyes, but I decided to read it anyways, and shortly after, I poured bleach on both my eyes. It says, "You're an idiot. I don't get why you put women down on all your videos. Don't you realize you came out of a woman? Stop disrespecting them. You also keep saying simp. Stop with the cringe, dude. You probably a beta who got bullied all the time. You probably live in your mom's basement playing video games all day like a nerd. You're not even funny. Have you even talked to a girl in your sorry and pathetic life? Oh wait, you don't even have a life. Nobody even likes your content. Why do you need to be rude all the time? Do us a favor and delete your channel." Well, I'm sure God is crying knowing that he forgot to push the delete button on you earlier. It looks like you might be below the age of 12, so that means your mommy probably had to buy Fortnite for you. Your balls haven't even dropped, they're probably up to your chest, and you're talking all this shit. And if you're actually not a kid but are an adult, then let me just hand you an award for the biggest L of 2020. Your dad probably regrets not pulling out of your mom. Your parents probably turned into drug addicts and alcoholics knowing that they made you. Next time you send me an email, I'm going to need you to think through what you write a little bit more and also use proper grammar, because I almost had an aneurysm trying to figure out what unintelligent bullshit you were trying to say. And lastly, I do talk to girls. In fact, last night I took a very beautiful lady out on a date, and that lady just so happened to be your mother. We're going to read through another hate mail and give this loser his 2 minutes of fame, and then we'll get into the main topic for today. The email is from a guy named Brian. He says, "You are an angry little boy. I can tell you weren't raised by a strong woman. You were so jealous of the success of the WNBA, which is why you made an obsessive 3-part series on it. I bet you can't even beat a high school girls basketball player. I would bet you $1,000 on it. And then you made a misogynistic video about women. Do women threaten your fragile masculinity? Because I bet you a feminist is stronger than you will ever be. I'd take you up on that $1,000 bet, but I know you're a broke bum, so how about you email me your Venmo or PayPal? I can even make a Cash App account if you want, and I'll send you a couple dollars so you can eat some actual food instead of going to your neighbor's trash can to eat the food they threw away. You also said that I wasn't raised by a strong woman. Well, I can tell that you were raised by a very strong woman. After all, your mom spent all that time, energy, and money raising you, and you ended up becoming a queef stain. Any weak-minded mom would have thrown themselves off a tall building or bridge after realizing they failed at being a parent. We would have more oxygen to go around if idiots like you weren't even born. I'm also more successful than any WNBA player. I bet more people know who I am versus the greatest WNBA player of all time. Also, I can guarantee you none of these feminazis are stronger than me physically or mentally. I survived the MW2 and MW3 lobbies, if you know what I mean. I've also been subject to a ton of racist jokes. People used to and still do make fun of me, but unlike this soft-ass generation who need a safe space, I've got thick skin and I don't whine like a bitch. I stand my ground and dish the insults right back. So Brian, you can suck a dick and continue having your wife stick her thumb up your ass, you whipped clown. I was sent this email several months ago and I just never reacted to it because the idea of reading hate mail just came to me a couple of weeks ago. Just a warning though, you might actually gouge your eyes out with a spoon after listening to this. The guy who wrote me the email, his name is Robert, and he says, "How dare you make fun of the findom community? If a guy wants to pay a girl and do whatever she asks for and he's happy about doing it, why do you need to make fun of it? Are you just upset that you have a little weenie and that you are a scumbag incel? Maybe I should make a video about losers like you who spend 100 hours a day looking for content to hate on. You are a lowlife. I hope you get sued by the people you make fun of. P.S. A lot of my friends are in the findom community and I showed your video to them. Can't wait to see more dislikes than likes, bitch." Wow, that is some unfortunate language you're using there, but let me give you a free English lesson. A bitch is a female dog. Last time I checked, I am a male human. Also, don't ever speak to me in such a tone or manner again. You are a pussy and a beta cuck, so don't try to act tough on the internet because you let women own you. I can't take you seriously. I can make fun of whoever I want, and you can't tell me what I can and can't do. A lot of people in this world do some pretty messed up stuff, and they have fun doing it, so are you telling me that I'm not allowed to make fun of them? A couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken, your lovely wife told you that she has a boyfriend, and you were pretty happy for her. Well, guess who her boyfriend is? I can put money on it she's dating hating me not because I have a quote-unquote small weenie. You've already got that base covered. I can sense that you're doing a lot of projecting here, buddy. And no, I'm not an incel. Also, there are not 100 hours in a day. I don't know which planet you're living on, but we have 24 hours in a day on Earth. And if someone does decide to sue me, let me take you through how the court proceedings would go. The case would be handed over to the judge, they would open it, and the case would be dismissed immediately. In fact, the person suing me would have to pay everyone in the courtroom for wasting our time. Also, thank you for showing my videos to your friends. I'm getting that sweet ad revenue. And I just checked, it seems like the biggest simp in the video world that you're referring to has way more likes than dislikes. It seems like your friends are too busy getting put on a leash and walked around like a dog by their wives. What is going on, everyone? So by this point in time, you already know the drill. It's hate mail time. If you're new to the channel, I begin most of my videos by reading emails that I consider to be hate, and we give these people a few minutes of attention that they don't get from the rest of society. So Aiden is today's hater. Congratulations on making it to one of my videos. This will surely be the only positive in your otherwise miserable life, but I am glad to help. Are you 12? I am no feminist, but you make me ashamed of being a male. I can't believe that I'm younger than you, only by a couple of years, but I'm still more mature than you. Let me expose you for the fraud you are. And if you choose not to make a video on this, I'll show everyone that you were too scared to respond to this email. 1. How many girlfriends have you had? 2. How many friends do you have? 3. Do you live in your parents' home? I'm 19 and live in my own apartment. 4. How many fights have you been in? I can bet money on it that the answer to all of those are 0, idiot. I am 12 inches deep in your mom. It looks like I already won the bet without even answering any of those questions. You said that you would bet money on it that the answers to all of those questions are 0. One of your questions is, do you live in your parents' home? That's a yes or no question. If I answered with 0, it wouldn't make much sense, and you're calling me the idiot. Go back to eating crayons, you moron. So let's address these questions one by one. I don't know how these questions will expose me, but I'll entertain you. I've had a total of 0 girlfriends. Well done, you got that one correct. But if I really wanted to, I could go out and bag a girl right now. I've had so many different opportunities throughout my life to get a girlfriend, but I was the one that turned them down. I still have text receipts if you really don't believe me, but at the end of the day, my decision to not get a girlfriend is based on the fact that I'm trying to spend the last days of my young years on myself. I get to spend all the money I make on myself, alright? A lot of these girls see you as a living, breathing bank account. They'll expect you to shower them in that green, and a lot of these relationships only last a couple of months anyways, and these females will just get bored of you and hop on another man's meat. I'm gonna graduate college with a pretty high GPA, get a nice 6-figure job, and I'll have my pick of the litter. When I pull up to McDonald's with my dime of a wife, you'll be the one taking my order, you peon. You better make sure the ice cream machine is working or it's GG's for you. I'll even throw in a $5 tip so you can use that money to buy some baby formula for your malnourished child. But hey, in your mind, having 10 girlfriends before you turn 21 somehow shows that you're better than me. Just goes to show you how immature you are, even though you think you're more mature than me. Now on to the second question. I have a decent amount of friends, but I like to keep my inner circle close and tight-knit. You could have more friends than me, but I can guarantee you those are surface level relationships. They wouldn't be willing to give you the time of day when you actually need help. Alright, you're just a shoulder to cry on for them. They don't actually care about you. Your friendships are empty. People just talk to you when they're bored. One of my friends is worth more than any of the so-called friends you've ever made in your life. On to the third question. I do live with my parents. I don't know how you expect a college student to go out and buy a house. I don't know how things work in white families. I'm assuming you're white, but in brown households, we typically stay with our parents until we're financially independent and buy our own home, so I guess it's more of a cultural thing. But when I do buy that house, it will be 20 times the size of your shack. My bathroom will be bigger than your entire apartment. And to answer number 4, I've been in several physical and verbal fights throughout my life. The first being in 5th grade, where a kid made fun of my younger sister, made her cry. So when we were out during recess, I took a basketball and drop kicked it at his face, and he got the smoke. But luckily, I was able to weasel myself out of getting into too much trouble because I'm built different. So I don't know how my answers will expose me as a fraud, but all it has done is shown that you spend your Thursday nights licking your kitchen floor and thinking about sending your hate mail to another man. I've said this before, if you're gonna send me hate mail, at least send it to me using a fake email. This basement dweller sent this hate mail to me using his college email. It had his college's name, so So I read the first 2 sentences of his email and I looked him up and found him in about 5 seconds. He's an art history major at a pretty big school here in the United States. Needless to say, this hate mail is legit. This isn't satire. This isn't a troll. This dude is being for real, which I can't wrap my head around. So let's see what he has to say. I would like to begin by making note of your YouTube success. You have amassed a very respectable number of subscribers in a relatively short period of time. If your content was not so flagrantly offensive, I might congratulate you on this achievement. However, I will be doing no such thing. But allow me to tell you a story. I'm a college student. Last semester, I found myself with an empty spot in my schedule. Open to new experiences, I signed up for Intro to Gender Studies, and I am so grateful I did. Before long, I found myself commiserating with the plight of the modern woman. Their oppression is real, and any attempt to downplay it, as you do on a regular basis, is male privilege in its most distilled form. Perhaps you can learn a lesson here. You mustn't carry on with such animus toward our world's many queens. I implore you to learn empathy and ideally learn gender studies too. Let this email be your first step down the road to tolerance and enlightenment. Together, we can smash cis heteropatriarchy once and for all. First of all, I would like to begin by making note of your art history degree. The toilet paper that I use every morning is worth more than the so-called degree you're paying over $100,000 for. After graduating, you're gonna be working in a museum with a bunch of senior citizens. Have fun hanging out with grandmas every day. I also don't understand why you're acting like this is an English essay. Why are you using words like animus and implore? Email me like a normal person. We're not living in 1500s England. I don't care about your medieval vocabulary. I also don't care if you congratulate me or not. You are irrelevant, a nobody, a peon. I also don't get why you say, quote unquote, allow me to tell you a story, because let me tell you, I'm not allowing you to tell me a story. I literally don't want to listen to what you have to say, so I don't get why you asked for my permission if you were gonna give me your stupid story anyways. Now, let me give you some advice. None of your white knight simpery is gonna get you laid. Nothing turns a woman off more than being a beta soy, which you seem to fully embrace. This is exactly how you fall into the deepest depths of the friend zone. You literally took a gender studies class. I would honestly rather read a coloring book than to read gender studies literature. What's wrong with you? Don't you realize that all these feminists who are so-called oppressed taking gender studies classes, that these girls are entitled? They come from rich families. How do you think they're able to blow hundreds of thousands of dollars on a useless degree? Give me a break. And if you say male privilege is a thing, then I can show you a million instances of female privilege too. I don't need to take a step down a road of tolerance and enlightenment. I'm already at the finish line. I know who I am as a person, and I don't need to validate myself by taking a gender studies class to prove to myself that I'm some woke person. I sincerely pray that if I ever have a son, he won't turn into someone like this kid. Shame on you. We have today yet another jealous hater, a neckbeard who doesn't get any love from his parents, probably just drives around neighborhoods with an unmarked white van that has free candy written on the side of it. It's funny because his email just so happened to be the same as his Instagram username, which his Instagram isn't private, so this clown clearly doesn't know how to conceal his tracks, or he didn't think that I would actually look him up on the internet. But anyways, let's take a look at what he has to say. If you're gonna say that OnlyFans shouldn't be considered a job, then take a look at yourself. You are making YouTube videos and call that a career. What a joke. You've gotten the same amount of girls as you have brain cells. I'll let you figure that one out. I've been subscribed to your channel for quite some time since your crappy WNBA compilations, but I'm not subscribed because I like your content. I'm just here to leave a dislike on every video you release. Back to my original point. These girls who you claim to be quote unquote thoughts are way more popular than you and make more money than you. After all, they don't have to buy views and subscribers like you. I mean, how is it possible for you to grow so fast given your filthy, low quality content? It sounds like you're a jealous virgin who hasn't even smelt a girl. Okay, so we have a lot to unpack here. So I've said it only 10 million times. I'm a college student. YouTube isn't my career and it will likely never be my career. I'll end up getting a job after I graduate and use YouTube as side money. I'm not gonna be living off government welfare checks like you pissant. A human brain contains about 10 billion brain cells, so are you suggesting that I've gotten 10 billion girls? Thank you very much for the compliment, but I stay true, I stay loyal. I've only ever had one girl, and that smoke show just so happens to be your older sister. Now, I know you're best friends with your right hand, so when you're on the hub, you might notice your sister's face on one of the thumbnails. I know you're in love with her, so you'll probably click on the video, and my beautiful face will be right there as well. It also might explain why you're gonna be an uncle in a few more months, but don't worry, I've already placed a restraining order on you. Now, did your mom decide to roll around in radioactive waste when she was pregnant? Because it seems like you were born with your brain fully formed inside of your asshole. You leaving a dislike does not matter. I think I have a 96 to 98% like to dislike ratio on all of my videos, so please keep clicking on my videos, leave a dislike, and continue giving me ad revenue. Thank you so much for your service. Now, you do realize that these OnlyFans girls are rubbing their dirty boot all over your face, and you're just sitting there like a little lapdog licking their boot. You are out here defending girls who don't even know who you are, and they're using losers like you to get more and more money. Alright, just think about it for a second. I know it might be hard since you're suffering from third stage brain damage, but you really woke up to write a moronic email to a guy you don't even know to defend some random girl on the internet. Does that not sound sad and pitiful to you? And you're absolutely right, I don't go around smelling girls. Okay, that's kind of weird. So I guess you got one thing right in your email. What's worse is it sounds like you're jealous of another man's success. Maybe one day I'll pull up to your house in a Ferrari and do donuts on your driveway, and then I'll proceed to use my money to purchase you because that is how insignificant and worthless you are. What is going on, everyone? So as usual, we'll be reading some hate mail, and let me tell you guys, the Fortnite kid is back, and he is so angry, so much so that he's threatening to ruin my life. Now, if you don't know who this kid is and why he's so angry, check out the video in the description below so you have some context. So pause this video, check that video out, and then come back. He says, "You will be in so much trouble. I will ruin your life. My dad is a lawyer, and I will have him sue you on several counts of ruining my image, defamation, and constantly disrespecting women. You will be in a maximum security prison soon, so enjoy time with your prison boyfriend, LOL. I will have you know for defamation you can go to jail for up to 1 year and pay $1,000. You're broke, you don't even have enough money to get a lawyer, so I will sue you and win so fast, LMAO. You said I am below 12. I will have you know I'm 14 years old. I was born in 2006. You said my parents are probably drug addicts, but that is so false. I am the starting pitcher of my baseball team and won many trophies. My parents always say they're proud of me. Maybe you are just sad that your parents hate you, jackass. Meet me in person. You think you're so tough, you keyboard warrior? I'll send you back crying to your mommy. Also, I don't care enough about grammar when talking to people like you. I won't waste my time typing up a proper email to toxic scum like you. You will be hearing from my dad soon unless you either A, apologize to me in public, or B, send me an apology email back. Maybe I will forgive you." Alright, child, listen here. I didn't reveal your identity, so I don't know how you could possibly sue me for defamation or ruining your image, and I'm pretty sure you can't sue me for disrespecting women because I'm not. I'm also exercising my freedom of speech. If you want to continue with this lawsuit, I dare you to sue me for at the very least $1 million. I will be representing myself in court. I don't need a lawyer while you hide behind your dad. And when the judge looks at your case and shits all over it, I will turn around and countersue you for whatever you sued me for. I'll win the case in the blink of an eye. I'll get millions, and your family will lose all their money, but that isn't all. Your mom is a gold digger, and now that your dad lost all his money, she'll come to me. I'll marry her, which means I'll become your stepdad, and you'll address me as sir or father. I will take whatever game system you play Fortnite on and piss all over it, and then I'll take a hammer and smash your Fortnite disc into a million different pieces. You said you won many trophies, but participation trophies don't count. Stop lying about being the starting pitcher of your team. Keep that bench nice and warm, you scrub. Also, I'm not going to fight a 14-year-old. I already made you cry to your parents without even laying a finger on you. Also, please try to type up proper emails to even quote-unquote toxic scum like me, because it's hard for me to decipher the diarrhea that's coming out of your mouth. And no, I would rather lick a window than apologize to you. This is the last bit of attention I'll ever give you, so crawl back into your cave. Let's get into the hate mail for today. It comes from a female. Now, I don't know if she typed this up with her nose or if she's just a snapperhead. Perhaps she knows which flavor of crayon tastes best, but let me just throw the email up on the screen. So my first question is, why is it formatted like it's a poem? Why is there a new line after every 2 or 3 words? I almost slipped into a coma trying to read this, but I went ahead and reformatted it so it's easier to read. So here's what Maddie has to tell me. I just finished watching your video where you answer questions from BuzzFeed feminists. I disagree with everything you had to say. You put men on a pedestal and think they are the better gender. Are you okay in the head? My dad left my mom and I when I was 4 years old. He's a man. You're really trying to praise that sort of behavior? At least I don't have to worry about you becoming a dad. If by some miracle you did, then I pray you don't have kids. Alright, first of all, you're a weasel, a little snake in the grass. I know you didn't watch that video because I never put men on a pedestal. I was simply answering the questions feminists were asking men. Or are you one of those people who loves to twist and turn words and claim I said something I never did? I think that's the type of person you are, and if that's the case, then I wouldn't be surprised if you get divorced in about a year of getting married. I bet when that happens, you'll still find a way to blame your ex-husband. I don't put men on a pedestal, and I certainly don't think men are the better gender. Are we 7 years old to be arguing about if boys or girls are better? Both genders are equal. You heard it from me first. Now turn around and ask a BuzzFeed feminist the same thing and see what they say. So I think you should be more angry at them than me. I don't even get how that idea even popped into your clay-filled brain, and I don't know how it's my fault that your dad took you to a candy store and when it came time to pay, he said his wallet was in the car and he walked out those doors and pieced out. How is that my fault? By your sound logic, I guess every woman who's cheated on their husbands, abandoned their families, represent the entire female population. Your logic works both ways. If you're gonna say I'm bad because of what your dad did, then I guess you're bad because of what another woman did. Does that make any sort of sense to you? I never once ever praised men who leave their family. In fact, I'd argue that's one of the most cowardly things a man could do. It seems to me that you're hallucinating. Maybe you're a schizo and thinking I said things I literally never said. And your final sentence was, quote, "At least I don't have to worry about becoming a dad. If by some miracle you did, then I pray you don't have kids." Congratulations on exposing your stupidity if I already hadn't exposed it. So you're saying if I became a dad, you hope I don't have kids? If you were planning on pursuing a job where logical reasoning is required, then just scratch that off your list. Go ahead, take a chair, put it in front of a wall and watch the paint dry, because that is the best suited job for your idiocy. So today is a momentous occasion. We're gonna take a look at the first ever hate mail that this channel ever received. It was sent by a fan of a YouTuber named Flight Reacts. So if you're a newcomer to this channel, I made a 3-part series clowning this YouTuber who has about 4 million subscribers on his highly unintelligent basketball takes, and he actually ended up reacting to all 3 of my videos. Those were the videos that sort of put me on the YouTube map, but anyways, most people found those videos to be hilarious, but a couple of his fangirls got super triggered and left some comments on my video about how I'm a terrible human being. But there was one guy who took it a step further and somehow found my email. I hadn't published it at that point, and this is what he had to say. "You don't even have 1% of the talent I have, let alone my boy Flight. Your channel will not get past 20,000 subscribers, you dud. You are hating on a man who makes more money in one video than you've made in your entire YouTube career. Flight is a champ and you're a no-name. Go back to your mom's basement, you geek. Can you explain to me exactly what talent you possess? I thought I saw you last night standing in a dark alley sucking off another man for 30 cents. My channel actually hit 100,000 subscribers within a year. Meanwhile, your garbage 2K channel has 209 videos and 27 subscribers, alright? You're nothing more than a lowly peasant compared to me. Flight probably does make more money off one video than I do, but I probably make more money in 5 seconds off a video than you've ever made in your entire channel. You're not even eligible to monetize your content. Maybe get your bread up and buy an actual mic for your gameplay instead of using your cheeseburger mic, you serf.